what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 15, volume 4 of the Fantasy Formula, coming live from the Mesh Studios in the lovely city of Hickory, North Carolina. Yes, it is the final countdown, the final 4 of Fantasy Football 2014. And I'm happy to say that I've got 2 teams representing Chad E. the Daddy out of 3 of my leagues, 2 Final Fours. John Mark, how about you, buddy?
Well, I am in 2 leagues, and I am 2 for 2 as well.
2 for 2.
Yes, sir. I am crept in there last week in my Chapel Hill League with a horrible score, but the guy scored a little bit worse than I did. So what are you going to do?
Congratulations, man. 2 for 2. Looking for another ring in the Hickory League, it seems, for you, right?
Yeah, it'll be back-to-back. It'd be nice just to make the championship again to see if I can talk some splitting money in there.
Sure, there you go. Absolutely. So as for me, my Raleigh League, make it to the Final Four, scored 196 points, highest of the year. And my Hickory League scored 160, highest of the year. So it had 2 banging weeks. I hope
that doesn't come into next week where they say we did enough.
Exactly. Sometimes it happens like that. You have one tremendous week, and the next week you fall flat in your face. Hopefully that won't be the case this year. I'm meeting my buddy Alan Daddle from Statesville, North Carolina in my Raleigh League, and I'm meeting Mr. Jay Caldwell, Hickory represent in in my Hickory League here. John Mark, how about you? Who are you playing?
Well, I am playing Just the Tip, which is, what's that, Jim Tate?
Jim Tate,
former champion himself. And in that league, actually, we're projected at this point to both be pulling 122.5.
Exactly?
So exactly the same. So pretty cool going in. And I am playing my good friend Aaron Benson in North Carolina, Chapel Hill. He is the 10-1 team.
Wow, the big favorite.
He has had a good season.
Cool.
But it's time for him to go away.
Well, good luck to you, buddy. We'll both probably need it this week.
Good luck to you as well,
Thank
bud.
you, sir. Well, we've been on a 2-week hiatus. We had the Thanksgiving festivities happen a couple weeks ago, and so everybody was traveling around. We weren't able to get in the studio, and last week, I don't really know what happened. I think it was a case of the real busies. We just got really, really busy over here.
Time of year, I guess.
Holy cow, it's just been crazy.
Sales.
That's what it's all about, my friend. Addison, here's to you. Hope you're doing well. It's been about, 2 months now.
Addison?
I don't even know who that dude is. But anyway, John Mark, let's jump right into it, man. Let's get right into our injury report and waiver wire wonder for Week 15 playoffs Final Four. You ready?
Let's do it.
The big news. You guys saw it on the television yesterday. Well, actually, there's 2 big stories. We'll start first with the big one because of our area here, Charlotte, North Carolina. Cam Newton, after his best game of the year, one of his best games of his career. Played great last week.
It was amazing. He actually looked like he had a pulse.
Really. The whole team had enthusiasm and passion. Where's it been? Anyway, he gets into a car accident. He's diagnosed with some issues with his back. I think it's his vertebrae or something, right? So, right now, as we come to you live Wednesday morning, 11:15 from Hickory, North Carolina, he's not scheduled to play. It's the same injury that Tony Romo had a couple weeks ago.
But he did play.
But Romo did. I think Romo sat out 1 game, though, didn't he? I think he sat out 1 game.
No, I don't think he did. Their next game was in England, I thought, and he traveled with the team.
Yeah.
So maybe he set up 1 game.
Yeah, we'll check it out. Get our statistician, Chris Magic Hands Fry, on that. Let us know about that, Christopher. But yeah, either way, what a blow to the Carolina Panthers, who played their best game this season, still have a shot at the playoffs, but no Cam Newton. Can Derek Anderson fill that role, John Mark?
I think Derek Anderson can. He's actually been someone I've been wanting to get in the game a long time ago. Cam hasn't been playing all season. It's kind of like, Derek throws a good ball and does what the coaches ask. Cam's always trying to, they do a different offense with him, so that offense will be different, but I think the way they start the season will be how they run the offense. So Derek Anderson's already played against Tampa Bay, already threw 2 touchdowns, over 200 yards.
Wow, good stat there.
So, he's already played this team. He's already beat this team. he's going to do it again.
And the other important thing is that Derek Anderson jersey you've been keeping in your closet for the last 3 years. You can finally bring that bad boy out again.
And that fake goatee I wear.
Exactly. So, big news. Big John Mark's very happy with his Derek Anderson. Not necessarily starting for sure, but there's a 95% chance.
He's starting to treat me like Addison, people.
that Derek Anderson will be behind center. Also, to me, the biggest news of the week, and maybe we've been waiting on this since day one of the NFL season, Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football, gets the starting nod this week against the Cincinnati Bengals. Brian Hoyer, he's got them, the Browns, to this point, but he's lost the last 3 out of 4. Brown fans calling for Manziel.
It's like 1 touchdown to 8 interception ratio.
Yeah, he's
the last 3 games.
Had a rough go. Can you think Johnny Manziel is the answer in Cleveland? Can he get them to the playoffs?
I don't know if he's the answer, but he's definitely the next solution. Brian Hoyer stinks.
But think about
this. They have
this.
no choice.
Hoyer's gotten them here. Is Manziel his rookie year? Is he the? Let's go over under. Over under 2 touchdowns this week for Johnny Manziel.
I say I go over, man. I think he can pull it off. I think that he'll rush 1, and I think he might throw 2. Last week, Hoyer missed Gordon, and on the sidelines they got him mouthing off saying, I would have hit him.
I saw that. Yeah.
And you know what? Put your money where the mouth is. So, I think that they're going to give him a shot to just run the offense. And for all the talk that's been going on all season, this is his show. This is the one he's going to get to come in and say, I was the guy the whole season. We might have had 10 wins if it wasn't for me. And, they always say with Hoyer, or not with Hoyer, but with teams, you win as a team, but you lose as a quarterback? Or is it the other way around?
Never heard that one before, but go ahead. Keep on rolling with it.
Well, I'm saying you might lose. You lose as a team, but if the quarterback wins, he gets all the praise.
He gets all the credit.
I was opposite there. Yeah, so, has Hoyer really been that guy that's helping him win? I think the team's been winning. So, he's just been kind of a manager like a Alex Smith almost, just a lesser.
Sure. Yes.
So
I'll believe it when I see it with Manziel. It's exciting. it gives us something to talk about. Everybody's going to watch the game.
Right.
It's going to be the highest rated game of the weekend for sure. My thought about Johnny Manziel, they're playing Cincinnati, okay? They're at home. If this is his spot right here, he's at home playing a big rival to stay in the hunt for the playoffs. They might pull out a win. I'm not going to say it's going to be because of Johnny Manziel. I think their defense might step up. Maybe they get the running game going. Johnny Manziel, my prediction, 1 rushing touchdown, no passing touchdowns. I'm predicting a low-scoring game. We'll hit that in our Fantasy 45, but I'm predicting a low-scoring game.
Look what Ben Roethlisberger did to Cincinnati last week. Murdered them. So, Cincinnati is.
But Roethlisberger has won Super Bowls. He's been in the league.
I'm not comparing
This is Johnny Manziel's first start,
But
it's different.
It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. All right, moving on with the injury report. The big news here, we've got Julius Thomas, who was active last week. And if he's on your team, at the beginning of the season, this guy was one of the best tight ends in the league. He's been out the last several weeks. Julius Thomas, John Mark, I know you've got him on your team. Will you start him this week? What are they saying anyway on the injury report?
They're saying that the latest is that he expects to play per the Denver Post. So, he was active last week. They just didn't need him, I don't think.
Right.
So they didn't risk him. Whole another week of him practicing. I bet he practices all week.
Yeah.
Just watch his practices, how much he practices, and I'm definitely starting him. The other guys are not even good enough. Even if they pull 3 points, is that going to change it?
Exactly.
I'd rather put Julius in there and have the chance to get it. Last week I didn't start him though, so
that's smart.
They're not giving you the information you need on the fantasy wire before the game starts, so you kind of have to just risk it.
You know what? That's a great point. Last week I think they had the 4:00 game. Let's see where they play again this week. I think it's the 4:00 game. So you almost have to put another tight end in there because you can't risk waiting.
See who might be out there later in the day.
Exactly.
But,
exactly.
It's bad.
Yeah, I'm with you. Listen, if you got Julius Thomas, you definitely need to start him this week. He will play, and Peyton, loves throwing to him, and Peyton has missed him the last couple of weeks, so I bet Peyton will look to get him the ball.
I'm hoping that takes away from C.J. Anderson's rushing touchdowns because I'm going against him.
See, I've got C.J. Anderson, so I've loved it. 3 touchdowns last week for that dude. Fantastic. Other big news, Julio Jones coming off his best his career best day on Monday night. You guys saw it against the Green Bay Packers. Julio goes out in the fourth quarter with an injury to his hip. John Mark, any report there on the injury front for Julio for next week?
It says Jones is feeling soreness in the hip. He injured Monday night. Coach Mike Smith hopes Jones will be able to play Sunday against the Steelers. It's only soreness, so it's not anything broken, anything, it's just a bruise, I guess. So
yeah, I'm sure he will probably play in this contest against the Steelers.
Take his tampon out and make it happen.
Okay, you heard it here. Also, Rashad Jennings, and you can speak to this as well. You've got Rashad Jennings and Andre Williams fills the gap last week with Rashad Jennings only getting 2 touches. Andre Williams comes in and has a monster day. You feel confident enough in Rashad Jennings this week to start him? Or are you going to look for Andre Williams on your waiver wire?
What time do they play on Sunday?
That is a 1 o'clock game.
So hopefully they give you the information to let you know what's going to kind of be. Feel it out. But Andre Williams might have to get him instead of Rashad.
Sure. 2 more tidbits of info. It looks like Mike Glennon will start for Tampa Bay this week. They're going to put Josh McCown on the bench because they're out of the playoff hunt with only 2 wins on the season. They want to see what Mike Glennon can do. Remember when Mike Glennon got the nod about 4 games into the season and played for about 4 straight? It seems like that's kind of when Mike Evans broke out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Evans has been on a tear. You saw last weekend Vincent Jackson coming out of the doldrums and plays. I wonder, Mike Glennon, will Tampa Bay revert, because their running game is stunk? Right. Will they just revert to let Glennon air it out, Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson maybe?
I think that that's a good point. I think that he throws a lot, and he's got a good arm. And it'll be a backup quarterback against a backup quarterback.
Right.
Mike Glennon's kind of a starter, though.
Yeah, borderline.
Maybe he's borderline. He's one of the better backups in the league, I'd say.
I agree.
But, I think that he could have a huge day against the Panthers defense. But if the Panthers defense plays like last week, he's not going to get much. He's going to be on the ground half the time.
I completely agree. My thought, too, who really cares about Tampa Bay? But they got nothing to lose. They might just go out there and just wing it, just air it out, just try to put up a bunch of points.
Which could be good for Carolina's defense as well.
Could be some picks. Yeah, could be some pick sixes. So keep your eyes on that. And last but not least, we haven't talked about this fella in a long time because this dude has just really sucked. RG3. Right? RG3. Okay. So Colt McCoy's come in the last couple of weeks with RG3 with his injury and really just his head not into the game. I heard one commentator say the worst prepared NFL quarterback he's ever seen in his 30 years of watching football was RG3 when he had to come in and replace Colt McCoy. It was almost like he was a lost puppy. He didn't know what to do. Now with Colt McCoy's strained neck, RG3 may get the start. Do you expect anything out of RG3 against the Giants this week?
This is his comeback day. This is if he wants to stick around and have respect for the league. People talk about him in the future without just saying RG3, who's that, who cares? This is his game. So I think he could have a big game. He's kind of stunk all season, which I predicted in our first podcast at the very beginning,
right?
And that he would get injured. But, I wouldn't start him. Who's going to put faith in that guy?
Yeah. If you're in the Final Four right now, hopefully you've got a better quarterback option than
maybe
RG3.
In the Sacco. If you're going for the Sacco here.
What's the Sacco? The last place game? Yeah, true. So anyway, that's going to wrap up our waiver wire injury report. Oh, one more thing we didn't talk about, John Mark. Brandon Marshall out for the season. That might hurt some of you. Yeah, because, I love Brandon Marshall. He's a head case, but he gives it his all every time he touches the field. You more than others, yes. But Brandon Marshall is out for the season, so tough news.
What's that going to do for
fans.
Alshon there? Do you think it's going to be tougher for him to get catches?
Glad you brought that up. They have this other dude who y'all saw maybe Thursday night. His last name is Wilson. I don't know his first. I've never even heard of this guy.
I can tell you.
Do some research real quick on this guy. But they were looking for him. Marquise Wilson, looking for him deep routes. Like Cutler threw it to him at least 3 deep balls to him. I don't think he came up with any. But with Marshall out, Alshon Jeffrey probably going to get the double teams. Look for the little Wilson dude to maybe a surprise flex play. Or in your daily leagues, he's going to be way, way down on the salary cap. You can probably grab him for about $2,000 as a real surprise sleeper. Keep your eye on him.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right, buddy. Let's bounce right into the Fantasy 45, the fastest 45 seconds in fantasy football. We're going to start on the Thursday night game. John Mark, there's not too many Thursday night games left. And you know what? I think we've watched 14 of 15 We made it through basically all of the Thursday night games, haven't we?
We pretty much we watched a lot of them. That's for sure.
And that's the reason for most of my headaches on Friday morning, right?
It's don't blame the alcohol. Man.
gotta blame it on something. So we've got Arizona at St. Louis Thursday night, 8:25 kick. Arizona with Drew Stanton behind the helm has lost the last 2 of 3. St. Louis's defense, check this out, have put up 60 fantasy points the last 2 weeks. These dudes, 2 shutouts in a row. This defense is firing on all cylinders. Right now, Vegas opened the line, St. Louis -3. It's been bet all the way up to 4.5. Total 39.5.
Did you say Cardinals lost the last 2 games? Because
I'm sorry, they lost
beat
2.
Kansas City.
They beat Kansas City last week. They lost 2 out of 3. They lost the 2 prior to that.
I was a little question. All right, so Cardinals are 10-3. They're injured up. Larry Fitzgerald's still limping around.
Banged up.
Their Andre Ellington's out. Who's their backup running back on that?
Yeah, we should have mentioned this on the waiver wire. There's 2 of them, Stephon Taylor and then the other Kerwin Williams, who stepped to the plate.
So
yes.
You got backup guys playing against one of the best defenses in the league, having the hottest defenses. So, what is it? St. Louis 4.5.
St. Louis a 4.5-point favorite right now.
Watch out for maybe Kenny Brett having a big day against this Arizona defense. But I would probably choose the Williams guy. Is that?
Yeah, Kerwin Williams, the running back.
Kerwin Williams, he might be a good pickup if you got to have somebody. If you have a bad second RB, put him in the game. Maybe see what he does. But
definitely start him over the other option, Stephon Taylor. Stephon Taylor was actually drafted 2 years ago with Andre Ellington,
right?
And he was from Stanford, and he was supposed to be kind of the bruising back.
Right.
Has really proven not to.
He'll
live up
be
to
an
the hype
analyst one day or something.
Probably next year. Well, the Kerwin Williams guy was just signed off, the practice squad,
right,
2 weeks ago,
right.
And I mean he's playing with like he's got something to play
for.
Yeah. So yeah, Kerwin Williams will be my bet here
Bill
too.
Belichick, bring the guy up, let him prove it to me.
Like LeGarrette, what he does with LeGarrette Blount and all those other running backs. What Belichick does, Bolden, all those dudes. So yeah, man, I'm with you all over here. I like St. Louis to. I think they dominate this game. They play at home. They're really not in the playoff hunt. Maybe a slight chance to get in, but this is their playoff game,
but
man.
They play good against good big teams.
Always. They beat Seattle at home.
Right.
They beat San Fran at home.
49ers.
They beat Yes, I think they even have somebody. They had somebody else on the ropes. They beat Philadelphia at home.
But this is a big game for the Cardinals because Seahawks are coming on strong.
So, I just don't think they've got enough firepower, though.
Seahawks can come and take that number 1 spot from them.
And I think that's going to happen. I think that will happen. So for this game, the Thursday night special, I'm going St. Louis minus the 4.5, and I'm going to lean to the over. Just lean because I think it's right at the number. I think it might be at 40. So it's going to be
the
right
Rams
there.
are going to have a good defensive day, but it's going to be at 40, over 40?
Because I think they're going to score 3 touchdowns and a field goal. They'll get 24, maybe 24-17, so it's right at the number. No shutout this week.
All right.
All right, next up, buddy, 1 o'clock kick in Kansas City. Last week, Kansas City, as you mentioned, they lose to the Cardinals. Jamal Charles, pretty nice day, though. 10 rushes for 91 yards and a touchdown, and he catches a ball out of the backfield. He did go out with an ankle injury, but came back into the game, so you guys watch Jamal Charles. I didn't see his name on the injury report this week, so hopefully that's a good sign. They are hosting the Oakland Raiders, who put a thumping on the 49ers, 24-13. David Carr, his best day as a pro, 3 touchdowns, 254 yards, and the guy that I started, Murray, the running back, they gave him the ball 23 times, only got 76 yards. But
he's going to break 100 this week.
He's going to get it. I like that because I'm going to start him.
I'm starting him as well
against Kansas City. I think that he'll have a nice day. 100 yards, maybe a couple balls out of the backfield as well.
Maybe a touchdown.
Possibly a touchdown as well. Kansas City, 10-point favorite at home, total 41.5.
Are they going to throw a touchdown to a wide receiver this year?
They haven't yet.
That's crazy, isn't it? I mean, that's a wild stat.
It really is.
What a shame for those guys. But, Jamal Charles is going to be Jamal Charles. But you'd think a team would figure that out by now. Maybe just put 2 guys on and just make them throw to the wide receiver. But Travis Kelce's been a great pickup this year. I think that he's going to hopefully have a big day. And Derek Carr, watch out for David Carr. I mean, this guy's kind of he got his win under his belt, and he's kind of feeling it right now.
The Raiders have found their quarterback. They've been searching since Jamarcus
I think this
Russell.
guy's going to be good.
I agree. I think he is their franchise quarterback.
I look for I think Oakland keeps it within the 10, and I'd go for over the 42.
Yeah, this is always a big rivalry, Kansas City versus Oakland. I'm going to lean to Oakland, keeping it within the 10 as well. They've been playing better as of late. And let me ask you a question. I've got a tight end question for you. So the guy in Oakland, Riviera, he's the tight end. You know, he either has great days or just terrible days.
Bomber bust.
Boomer bust, exactly.
Boomer
So
bust.
I've got Vernon Davis, Owen Daniels, and Riviera's out on the waiver wire. Vernon Davis has done nothing all year.
Is Ertz out there?
Ertz is not there. He's on somebody's team. Would you drop Owen Daniels for Riviera if you got to? I mean, that's the weak link of my team is my tight end. My team is loaded, but
Now,
my
who
tight
do
end
you
is
start?
soft.
Do you start Vernon Davis?
I have been, but I mean,
That guy's awful.
I should have cut him weeks
Yeah,
ago.
he
I just
should be
keep
gone.
waiting for a breakout. That dude had 13 touchdowns last year.
Right.
He's got like one this year.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not starting him for sure. So it's basically Owen Daniels or Rivera. Would you drop Owen Daniels for Rivera? Last week, Rivera 7 receptions, $109 and a touchdown.
Why not? You know, he's out there, and he's they won by throwing to him.
Yeah.
That's the formula. So don't go away from the formula that wins.
Sure, I dig it. Okay, right on. Thank you. Next up, 1 o'clock game, Baltimore hosting Jacksonville. Baltimore played a great game last week. They beat the Dolphins. I'll give you some stats. Flacco, 25 for 33, 269 and 2 touchdowns. And Justin Forsett, probably the free agent pickup of the year. Would you say maybe him or Odell Beckham?
They're right there.
They're close. You know, they've had great years off the free agent wire. And Steve Smith finally gets back on the board. 7 receptions, 70 yards, and a touchdown. The Ravens playing host to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number right now, Ravens 13.5-point favorite. Total 45.
You know, I agree. Justin Forsett has been a great pickup. Now, he wasn't. I thought I read something about against him. I guess he's active.
Yeah, he's playing. He's playing.
He's on the waiver wire.
Yep.
You know, it took him a while to get going in that game last week, but he finally came on strong. But, you know, I like Baltimore to win, but I think the Jaguars are going to play them close. They're not getting rocked anymore like they were earlier in the season.
They're being competitive.
They're
that
being
is for sure.
competitive.
Yes.
Denard Robinson, he kind of, you know, he's not doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
Look out for Allen Hurns or I guess, is there another Robinson on their team?
There's a Allen Robinson, but he's out for the year. So it's really, you got Blake Bortles giving it to Denard, who had a really weak day, as you said, 10 rushes for 30 yards. Mercedes Lewis, the tight end, caught 3 balls for 69 yards.
That's not a bad pickup either on the waiver wire, maybe.
Bortles looks for him. In my opinion, though, Jacksonville, they're just not ready to take it to the next level yet. On the road, they don't play as well. I'm going Baltimore minus the 2 touchdowns, and I'm going to lean under the total. I can see Baltimore maybe get 28-10 win in this game.
Now, Allen Hurns has the same amount of touchdowns as Steve Smith.
Yes, he's had a good year.
I mean, that's pretty good. Not the yards, but
yeah.
I would agree with those.
Oh, and you mentioned this earlier before our podcast that Torrey Smith, guys, please keep your eyes on the injury report for him. He's probably starting in your flex. Questionable for Sunday's game.
Right.
Yeah, all right. Next up, Pittsburgh travels to Hotlanta. Atlanta coming off a great offensive performance by Julio and Matt Ryan. They went, unless Matt Ryan's numbers, 24 for 39, 375 and 4 touchdowns. And Julio, 259 and a touchdown. What a game they put up. And they're going to have to score points against this Pittsburgh team, who also put up some phenomenal numbers. Let's look at it.
They're unreal.
They're on fire right now. Let me try to find these numbers. Yes,
But
they
they're
put up
boomer
40
bust themselves.
Yeah. 42 against Cincinnati's D on the road. Roethlisberger, 350 and 3 touchdowns. And Le'Veon Bell, man, the performance of the day, in my opinion, 185 on the ground. I think he went for close to 100 in the air. 2 touchdowns on the ground and 1 in the air. That's 3. Dude, what a day.
Yeah,
what a day.
He's ridiculous. He's a very good player, very good team. They have an offense that kind of scores like the Green Bay Packers.
We
saw the Green Bay Packers play against the Falcons last week, and what did they do? You know, so
Absolutely.
I think the Falcons can still have a good offensive day against the Steelers.
Pittsburgh's defense is not what it used to be.
Right. So I think this will just be a shootout, and that's why it's the 54.5 over/under. I think that will go over the 54.5. I say the Falcons actually win this game.
Wow. You know, Atlanta they're playing at home. We know what they do at home. They always seem to play better.
3-3 this year at home.
And yeah, they're not as good as they typically are, but 3-3, and they can stay in the lead for the NFC South with a win.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah,
are they leading the NFC South?
Well, they are
Saints
tied
lost.
with the Saints.
Oh, they're tied with the Saints.
And we're right in the hunt.
A game
'cause
back.
We have that tie game.
Yeah,
against the
exactly.
Bengals.
Exactly. Yeah, I see what you're saying here. Atlanta, they, could win. I just can't see them beating Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's kind of hot.
Regardless,
right now.
yeah, they're playing so well. I love the over the total though. This will be a shootout. Look for Antonio Brown to go. Atlanta's secondary is terrible.
Awful.
Look for Antonio Brown to have a monster. Le'Veon Bell on the ground as well should have a great day. And as long as Julio can play, Julio will get about 2 touchdowns against this Pittsburgh secondary. I'm going to go Pittsburgh minus the 2 over the 54. Next, 1 o'clock kickoff in Indianapolis. Andrew Luck leads these Colts against the Houston Texans. The Colts last week pulled out that barn burner against the Browns. Andrew Luck, he's amazing to me. So the first half, he's got 2 picks. I think he had 83 yards. Nothing.
Composed.
He had nothing going on.
Stays composed.
Exactly. Keeps his cool. Ends up 294, 2 touchdowns, leads another game-winning drive. There's a touchdown with 30 seconds left to win the game. An amazing stat about him, this is his 3rd year in the league. He's already led 10 fourth-quarter overtime wins. And he's only been in this is his 3rd year.
It's pretty amazing.
This dude's going to be a Hall of Famer, a shoe-in Hall of
that
Famer.
game was going to happen, though.
Absolutely.
You were just waiting for it to happen. It was like, at that point, I was like, man, put Manziel in the game right now.
Yeah.
Dude is not moving the ball,
Yeah.
and they're just running the ball, just wasting time. Andrew Luck's one of the best comeback quarterbacks, going out right now.
Yeah.
You're going to give him the ball back? So, anyways, I thought that was awful, but it got the Browns. Manziel starting.
It got Manziel starting role this week for sure.
This line's interesting. 7 points. The Texans can either be boom or bust themselves. I mean, it's not like the Colts' defense is phenomenal. I wouldn't bet on this game, but I'd probably, if I had to, I'd probably take the Colts over the 7, and I'd go under the over-under.
This is a division game. Houston playing well as of late. Arian Foster continued to pile up yards on the ground. Another 100-yard performance and a touchdown. I think Indianapolis can be had in this game, and this is the reason. Indianapolis front line, their defensive front line, can't stop anybody, any rusher. Seems like people can run all over them, and Arian Foster does exactly that. I like this game to be very close. I'm going to take Houston plus the 7, and I'm going to go under the total 2. The running back for Indianapolis Colts, Herron, who's getting all the carries. Trent Richardson seems to have kind of gone away. Let's see where his numbers were last week. Herron's. Actually, the leading rusher last week for the Colts was Andrew Luck with 37 yards and a touchdown. But you think you could put Herron as a flex play if you're really struggling for a running back in the Final Four of fantasy football this week?
You better be really struggling, I say.
Yeah.
I mean, what's
Mark Ingram or Herron?
Texans' defense is pretty dang good.
Pretty good up front. Let's go. Let's do some either or. Would you Mark Ingram or Herron?
Mark Ingram all day.
Jonathan Stewart or Herron?
Jonathan Stewart right
for
now.
Sure. How about Isaiah Crowell for the Browns or Herron?
Oof. Can I start either of them? Crowell probably.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not real high on Herron. For some reason, I feel like Herron will get involved in the game plan this week. They're going to run the ball too. That's why I kind of like the under. So let's go Houston plus the 7, under the total 49.5. And look, this might be a good game, John Mark. This might be fun one to watch.
Fun one to watch. Now, if you're looking for a touchdown, just put J.J. Watt in your lineup.
Absolutely. What a year he's had. Next up, the game that everybody's going to be watching. It's a 1 o'clock kick. It's in Cleveland, Ohio. The Cleveland Browns play their nemesis, the Cincinnati Bengals, in a big divisional game. We've already told you Johnny U starting, Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football, whatever you want to call it. He will be behind center. It's going to be an exciting game. Right now, Cincinnati opened as a 2-point favorite. The news that Johnny Football is in moved the line down. Now it's a pick 'em. Even Vegas likes Johnny U. Total 44. What do you think happens in Cleveland, Ohio this week?
Bengals suck in big games.
They do, man.
You can't trust Andy Dalton and that coach. They just never come up with the big games. I think the Browns are going to win this thing. Personally, I think AJ Green still has a big day because
he always does.
AJ has a big game. Who's their running game's been awful.
Giovanni Bernard and then
Jeremy Hill.
And where's Bernard been?
I don't even know, but he started. I mean, not started, but he played last week.
He plays.
They
he
had
gets
nothing.
60% of the snaps. Like Jeremy Hill was the leading rusher with 8 touches for 46 yards.
Right.
They've kind of just got away from the run game, and they're just throwing like AJ Green, 15 targets, 11 receptions, 224.
Yeah.
They're just throwing the ball all over the place,
Day.
and they lost.
Yeah.
But they lose that way is what I'm saying. You know? They need to get back to kind of grind it out a little bit.
They scored points. Their defense just didn't hold Pittsburgh back.
No, not at all.
So, I got the Browns winning this game, and I think it's actually going to be a shootout. You say it's going to be low, but I'm going with Vegas. I'm going to go over the 44.
Let's go beer bet on this, me and you. I like the under a lot. You like the over. We'll go for a beer on this one, but I love Cleveland, man. Cleveland at home, all the hype. As long as Johnny Football doesn't turn the ball over, their defense can keep Cincinnati a little bit at bay. I like Cleveland a lot.
Right.
I like Cleveland a lot. Let's go with them. Cleveland for me at a pick'em, and under the total for John Mark is over the total.
Do you
beer
start
bet.
Josh Gordon?
Good question. Let's talk about this. With Johnny Manziel running the show,
You're putting your faith in getting to the championship round.
I can't do it.
Johnny Manziel.
I can't do it, man. I got to see him play. It depends what wide receivers I have, but if it's a question between him and like Jeremy Maclin, I'm going to start Maclin. Right. If it's a question between him and Golden Tate, I'm going to start Golden Tate.
See, I've got Roddy White.
Yes.
I've got Mike Wallace, and I've got Kenny Stills. I can all put in for Josh Gordon.
That's a tough one,
Kenny
man.
Stills might have to take that spot, I think.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
I got a long couple nights to sleep
But you can't really even trust Kenny Stills either. They had a matchup dream last week, and he almost – what did he do last week? Nothing.
Like 2.4 points.
Unbelievable.
But, sometimes when they have those small, short games, the next
week
one's just like a big old game. So
that's a good point. You know what? I think I would start Stills in front of Josh Gordon this week.
Yeah, I think I
might.
It's putting my faith in Johnny Football, and I don't even really like the guy. So,
right, got you, man. All right, so anyway, everybody will be tuned in to Cleveland versus Cincinnati.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that one? Next game, the New England Patriots against the Miami Dolphins. So last week for New England, what I thought would be a great game against the San Diego Chargers, because the Chargers seem to always play the Patriots tough. They did not play them tough and got waxed 23-14. Phillip Rivers, San Diego scored those 14 points basically first quarter, early second. They didn't even sniff the end zone. No. New England's defense is for real. Best defense they've had in 10 years.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're a work in progress all season. That's the coach's forte. He's going to find who works out well there and make it work. So, but the Dolphins are also playing some of the best defense in the league as well.
They are.
So this game,
the Dolphins got to have this game, John Mark.
It's surprising to me that it's 48.5 almost. I thought it would be more of a defensive battle. I would go under. I think the Dolphins keep it close. I think it's going to be under the 7.5.
Yeah, for you fantasy fanatics, right now Vegas has the number. New England's a 7.5-point favorite at home. The total was 48.5. As John Mark is saying, you would think this might be a kind of a defensive slugfest. But when Vegas sets a number kind of high, which this is high for these two teams, sometimes you go with what the opposite of what you would think. And so I'm going to take the over just on a hunch, because both defenses have been playing so well, and Vegas has it set so high. So on a hunch, I'm going over the total, and I think Miami keeps it within a touchdown too. So I'll take that 7.5.
It's a must-win for Dolphins.
Yeah,
to stay in the hunt for being in the playoffs.
You've got Mike Wallace, and you're contemplating starting him, and this is the Final Four. This is all she wrote. This is a big week. Mike Wallace is going to be matched up with Darrell Revis Island.
Gone.
So you just automatic bench for you.
He is benched for sure.
Yeah. I think that's
that's where
pretty
I think,
smart.
who are they going to throw to score the ball? I mean, Landry's going to obviously get his touches, but I mean, Lamar Miller had a great week last week. But are they going to be able to run on them? I mean, the Patriots' defense is solid. I don't think it could be over, man.
Let's dive into this just a tad deeper, because what Belichick is so famous for doing is he'll shut down like the one offensive weapon that would hurt the Patriots the most. Right. He's known to shut them down, like
shut down the running and shut down Mike Wallace. What are they going to do?
Exactly.
Just like San Diego last week didn't throw to Keenan Allen.
Exactly. Well, they shut down Gates and Keenan Allen. Right. And Malcolm Floyd or whatever got a little bit. But I guess my point is, so if Belichick's looking at the Miami Dolphins offense, is he going to pick Wallace to shut down?
That's who I would guess.
That's who I would pick too.
Does
that make Charles Clay?
Charles Clay could be.
Does that make him a pickup this week?
It could be. Yeah,
I kind of like that.
Yeah,
we were talking about tight ends earlier.
Right.
Charles Clay's on the waiver wire. Maybe he's a pickup.
But don't try and get in Belichick's head, because it's a nasty place.
That's true. I don't want to go there. Right? Do not want to go there. Anyway, good game. AFC divisional game. Miami at New England.
A lot of good games this weekend.
We'll get back to your show in a moment. Just a reminder, you're listening to The Mesh. an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Find out more at themesh.tv and give us feedback on what you like. And now, as promised, back to your show.
1 o'clock. Here we go. Tampa Bay at Carolina. Where's that growl, John Mark? Oh, good one. Tampa Bay traveling. They're playing, as we mentioned, Glennon will get the start against the Panthers, who we don't think will be led by Cam Newton this week. It looks like Derek Anderson. We wish you the best, Cam. We hope you get better. Right now, Carolina is a 4-point favorite, 42.5. Carolina hasn't been favored in 3 weeks, but they should be favored at home against Tampa Bay. Can they get it done at home?
You would think so, but how do you bet on this when you don't even know how the backup quarterbacks are going to do? So it's a different offense. Like I said earlier, Derek Anderson's not going to be running the ball, so it's going to be all throws. A lot of Jay Stewart, I think.
A lot of Jay Stu.
So Jay Stu's a good pickup. Put him in this week, I think. And if their defense plays like they did last week, Tampa Bay has no shot, I think. So I'd go with Carolina over the 4. I'd probably have to go under the over.
Yeah, under the total?
Under the total of 42.5. So,
how about this question for you? We've got 2 fantastic rookie wide receivers, one on Carolina for Carolina Panthers, Kelvin Benjamin, and on the other side it's Mike Evans for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Who has the better day? Backup quarterbacks throwing to both.
I'd say Mike Evans.
Do you start, if you have Kelvin or Mike, do you start them?
I'd start either one of them.
You start both of them?
Yeah, because, I mean, they're going to get the targets. If you're going to want to win the game, you need to throw to those guys.
Right now, would you give Rookie of the Year to Mike Evans or Kelvin Benjamin?
Kelvin Benjamin.
Really, over Mike Evans?
Yeah, I mean, he's been consistent all year. Mike Evans had a couple good games.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'd probably flip-flop that, but they both had solid years, but I like Mike Evans a little bit more.
It's about the year, not the total game, or couple games.
Couple games left, though. I think Mike Evans might go off.
We'll
see what happens.
Right.
We'll see what happens. Beer bet. All right, next up, the New York Giants play host to the Washington Redskins. Washington Redskins, it looks like, will be led by RG3. It's kind of his, I'm not going to say it's his final chance, but it is his chance to show what he can do. Interesting thing that popped up on the news report here. Washington's actually thinking about firing Jay Gruden and RG3 do not like each other. Jay Gruden has been in the media calling out RG3. RG3 keeps his mouth.
Jay Gruden's not going to be that guy they can blame everything on because of RG3.
That's right. They also said, interesting fact, that the locker room hates RG3.
Oh,
because he's a diva,
D-bag.
because he acts like he's so much better. So Snyder, I think that's the owner of the Washington Redskins, is backing RG3 and says that he would let Jay Gruden go his first year, cut him, and keep RG3. That'd be the most bonehead move of all time, in my opinion.
Already a bonehead move to do what he did to get RG3.
True.
How many picks did they give up? Like
6.
6 picks.
6 picks.
This guy's already an idiot. So Jay Gruden can't take offense to that he's dealing with a person that just doesn't have any sense. So, that's RG3. I hope he shuts me up this week.
Yeah.
But you know what? You suck, RG3.
Over under RG3 interceptions. What are you giving it?
I go under. I don't think he's going to have huge interceptions, but
I bet he throws
maybe
2.
a fumble.
Definitely a fumble. Let's say 2 turnovers, RG3, an interception and a fumble.
Over.
Yeah, over that. Okay, right on. So right now,
Giants D is a good D to start, you think, this week?
Absolutely at home. The total right now, and Vegas has got it. See, this is wild. Vegas had the total at 42. It's already up to 46.5. Is that because of RG3 being in? Maybe they think he's going to throw a lot of picks, pick sixes.
You got me.
I mean, that's a 4-point swing. That's a lot of points there.
Maybe they know that RG3's coming in here knowing he has to win.
Maybe so. That just seems odd that it would move up that high with a backup quarterback coming in.
But what have their records been for the past 3 years?
With
RG3?
Their win totals? I mean, they've had stinkers. They've had last year. They won 4.
What is this owner thinking? I don't get it.
I guess he's just invested so much. You see RG3's face everywhere on Subway and Chunky Soup and all. I mean, he's everywhere. He's a marketing machine right now, but unfortunately his play doesn't show it. Giants 6.5-point favorite at home. Washington total 46.5. Who would you lean to here?
I think the Giants are going to have a big offensive day. Odell's going to have another huge day. I hope Rashad Jennings gets in the game and busts big. Look for Alfred Morris to kind of run on them a good bit.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
I think he's going to have a big day, but You'll see about Deshaun Jackson. We don't know if he's going to be playing.
Yeah, he's still questionable. You saw Pierre Garçon last week. He got some. I mean, his best game he's had since week 1. 7 receptions, 70 yards.
They've been trying to get him more in the mix lately. So
yeah, they need to.
Deshaun's more of a deep threat. So
yeah, I'm with you, man. I think Giants all day. They cover this one. They win by 10. I'm going to go 30-10, or let's say 24-10. I'm going to go under the total 47 in this guy. Next up, the Green Bay Packers, the hottest team in the NFL, on the road traveling to Buffalo, whose defense has really been stepping up lately. They kept Peyton Manning last week to 6.5 fantasy points. Did you see that?
Now, let me touch on that real quick, because Peyton Manning was throwing awful. It looked like, his balls are usually wobbly. Mm-hmm. That sounded awkward.
How do you know about his balls, man?
But, he throws the ball and it wobbles most of the time, but it was even more than normal. Do you think he's just like his old time and it's getting cold outside, that he's just not able to throw in the winter like he did?
I think that has a lot to do with his arm
he's just
strength.
Trying to get to those dome places like the Super Bowl. Is the Super Bowl in a dome this year?
I'm not sure where it's located.
But either way, I don't think he can throw in the cold.
I completely agree with you.
And so they're going to have to run the ball more and more and throw short passes. I just don't see the deep ball going against these teams in the winter.
Greg Cosell, who is a highly regarded analyst, said that Peyton Manning's arm strength has decreased about 20% of what it used to be. And as a quarterback, he can make, in his mind, he knows all the plays, he can put everybody in position. But if you can't get the ball, that's not good for Denver. Listen to Peyton's numbers. They ran the ball a lot. 14 for 20 for $173, 0 touchdowns. When have you ever heard of Peyton Manning 0 touchdowns?
Well, how many? It was a huge number, like 52 games in a row or something with touchdowns.
Unbelievable.
So
I agree with you. And the cold weather affects his game for sure, certain.
And I was going against Demaryius Thomas, who had an awful day. So that's right. He's one of the reasons. Appreciate Peyton last week for getting me into the Final Four.
We started at Green Bay Buffalo. I guess we got off on Denver because Denver did beat Buffalo last week. But let's get back to this game. Right now, Buffalo at home is a 5-point dog. 50.5 is the total. Again, Buffalo's defense, man, they're no slouch. Kyle Orton, offensively, he threw the ball 57 times for 355 and a touchdown. But if they want to win, I think they got to establish more of a running game to keep Aaron Rodgers off the field. Who do you like in Green Bay Buffalo?
I think Green Bay is going to win over the 6. What'd you have down on ESPN? I see it's at 6.
It's at 5 right now on this one.
Yeah, so I go Aaron Rodgers. I think they're going to have a monster day again. Kyle Orton, watch out for, I think, a couple pick sixes for him. They throw the ball that much. Green Bay's defense has been also playing pretty well.
Played pretty good. Except for the second half against Atlanta when they gave up like 4 touchdowns. Yeah,
that's true. But Fred Jackson, is C.J. Spiller coming back?
They said potentially he could be playing this week, but this was on Monday. I haven't seen anything since then, so we'll have to keep our eyes on that.
Yeah, keep your eyes on that. But Sammy Watkins is really coming on strong. So
I love Sammy in this game.
Yeah, look for Sammy to have a big day. Jordy has just been ridiculous.
Unreal.
So did you see where Cobb bowed to him after his touchdown, that long touchdown?
No, I did not catch that.
Cobb was just bowing to him. It was just like, when the other receiver, who's also awesome, is just like, dude, you are phenomenal.
How fun would it be to be on Green Bay's team? Doesn't it seem like they just have a blast?
For Aaron Rodgers, just like one of the coolest dudes.
How fun.
But, I definitely go over the total, and Green Bay takes it over the 5.
I can't disagree with you. Let's roll the same way. Let's go over the total until somebody slows Green Bay's offense down. You got to keep going with them. Over the 50.5.
Of the week. I'm going to have to put my credit on that one.
You got a little credit left, don't you, buddy? How much credit you got?
Hundo. Been letting us sit in the cut. Making no money on it.
All right, so we're going with Green Bay minus the 5 and over the 50.5. Here's a first 4 o'clock game, Minnesota at Detroit. This will be a big game for yours truly because I have Matt Stafford as my quarterback in one league along with Calvin Johnson, double dipping, if you will. I need both of them. Actually, they had a great game last week. Calvin, my computer just went dead, but Calvin went a touchdown at $170 or $160, and I think Matt Stafford threw for 3 touchdowns and 300 plus or right near 300. Hopefully they will continue that. Minnesota coming back to life a little bit. Asiata is getting the starting role with McKinnon out, but I heard Ben Tate might take some of these carries, so keep your eye on that as well. Right now, Detroit is an 8-point favorite at home in a must-win situation to keep up with Green Bay. The total, 43.
That Charles Johnson from Minnesota has been getting some big touches, big yards. He might be a pickup off the waiver wire if you need somebody to put in this week. He could be a good pickup against this. Detroit's got a good defense, but they haven't been as strong as people might have been saying. But, Calvin Johnson's going to – the rest of the season is going to be on fire.
I think so, man.
I mean, if they want a chance of winning this division against Green Bay, Calvin's got to get the rock. And if he's not, Golden Tate will have a big day. So I guess their tight ends really haven't been doing much for them.
Eric Ebron, kind of a no-show, for Detroit. And let's talk really quickly about the running game. Joique Bell Reggie Bush got the start last week, but Joique Bell got all the love.
Had a big day.
I mean, moving forward, just put Joique Bell in there, right?
Yeah,
just start Joique Bell.
Reggie Bush is that guy that they throw to. He's sort of like the Vereen or the Pierce.
You got his numbers? Look up Reggie Bush's numbers from last week Detroit game, and I'm just curious if he did really anything because Joique Bell got the lion's share.
Readily available.
Yeah, no worries. So, if you got any question between Reggie Bush and Joique Bell, our advice would be Joique Bell all day long. This guy's going to take Detroit at home minus the 7, and I'm going to lean under the total 43 right now because I don't think Minnesota is going to score that many points on Detroit. Look for maybe a 27-10 to 13 kind of game. So I'm leaning under the total and Detroit minus the 7. 4 more to go here, John Mark, and here we go. This game, 4:05, we might as well mark this one off the list. The New York Jets at the Tennessee Titans. Do we even care?
2-11 versus 2-11.
Is that 2-11 versus? Does Rex Ryan?
Someone's going to get their third win.
Oh, congratulations, guys!
Or it could be a tie.
That would be perfect. 0-0 tie.
2-11-1.
Be awesome. Does Rex Ryan any chance he keeps his job? Just getting off the fantasy tip for a second.
They need to fire the general manager. The owner might need to fire himself. I mean, this whole franchise is jacked up. So, Geno Smith getting his feet back under him, trying to get some touchdowns and some respect back. But I don't start anybody on.
You can't.
Delaney Walker, maybe?
Maybe Delaney. Yeah, that might be a good play against the Jets defense. I'm reading here, Zach Mettenberger, the rookie quarterback from LSU, who's got the start the last 3 weeks, is out. Who's the quarterback for Tennessee then?
Well, let's see here.
Who they going to bring in? Danny White? Terry Bradshaw? I mean, this team.
Terry Bradshaw.
I mean, holy cow, because they started with Jake Locker, but he's out, isn't he?
Charlie Whitehurst.
Touchdown Jesus is what they call him. So, okay. Anyway, the Vegas has got the number. I can't believe they even set a number on this. Opened at Tennessee -2. It's been bet all the way to now the Jets are a 1.5 favorite. The total's 42. What do you think about this one, sir?
Do you want to talk about it?
Fantasy-wise, nobody. Let's just lean. I'm going to lean Jets on the road, -1.5 under the 42. Let's go. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's all we need to say about that.
Next up, this is a pretty good AFC clash. The Denver Broncos travel to San Diego. We mentioned San Diego early, got beat by the Patriots, and Denver held on to beat Buffalo. Vegas has the number 4, -4. Denver is a favorite on the road. Total 51. Can San Diego get back in gear? Their offense has been struggling.
The Broncos' defense is not as good as the New England Patriots.
Right.
I don't think they're going to be able to hold the Chargers to what the Patriots did. So I think it will be a shootout here.
And before you finish your comment,
win for them.
It is. And, San Diego is a pretty nice place to play. We're just talking about Denver's or Peyton's struggles in the cold. So it's probably going to be 70 degrees and gorgeous.
Yeah, Peyton might have a big day.
Look for all the Broncos to have a nice day against the San Diego D. But look on the other side, too. Keenan Allen, who you benched or you've been struggling with. If you need a flex play, this might be the time to play Keenan Allen. And also maybe a little bit of Ryan Matthews out of the backfield for a touchdown catching a ball.
I like Antonio Gates as well.
I like that too.
To have a big day.
I like that as well. So a lot of fantasy studs here. Let's go over the total 51. And who do you lean to in the game? You think San Diego can win this one at home?
San Diego plays the Broncos pretty well. I think I wouldn't bet on it, but if I had to, I would say the Chargers at least stay within the 4.5.
Guess what? I do bet on it. And yes, guess what? I will take San Diego plus the 4. I like that. Let's go over the total as well. Next up, Seattle against San Fran. At the beginning of this year, this was going to be the matchup everybody wanted to see. But with the problems in San Francisco just looming over them every day, Colin Kaepernick lost his swagger and his confidence. Jim Harbaugh, they're calling for his head. Frank Gore not even touching the ball. The receivers for the San Francisco 49ers they've disappeared. Where has Crabtree been? Where's Anquan Bolden been? Where's Vernon Davis been? This team is a shell of themselves.
They don't have a person who can throw the ball. They gave him all that money. He's a true, testament to you give the guy the money too early, they might just stop playing.
I kind of feel a tad bad for Kaepernick. I mean,
You feel bad for that douchebag?
Because man, when they had the offense, when they had this pistol and he was running and kind of giving him a little bit of freedom.
Right.
Now they want him to be a stay in the pocket kind of quarterback, and that's not his. That's why he sucks, because that's not his game.
He's a guy that needs to be one of the top rushers of the game.
Exactly. He's like Russell Wilson, kind of roaming around in the pocket, getting loose.
Maybe they let him go this game.
Maybe so. Well, they need to do something, because if they lose this game, it's over, Johnny. Seattle right now at home started at 7.5-point favorite. Now they're a 10-point favorite. Everybody's down on San Fran, including Vegas. Right. Totals 38. What happens in Seattle?
I think the 49ers are actually going to give them a game this
I like that
time.
call. I like that call.
It's 2 games so close. Like, what did they play them 2 weeks ago?
Thanksgiving holiday.
You learn a lot from a team. Say the NBA playoffs. You play one team one night, and then the next night you play the same team, and you got 2 different games.
2 different results.
So I think it's actually going to be within the 10. I'd probably call it under the 38.5.
Yep, I think it'll be right at that number. I can see it at 38.
San Fran's defense steps up this game. You know what Russell Wilson's going to do. He's going to run around pass. You got to find a way to, make it so he can't run and have that guy shadow the quarterback and, cover them receivers, man. I mean, Marshawn Lynch is going to get his day, but kind of Belichick them, man. Take away the things they're good at.
Right. I dig it. Yeah, Seattle minus 10 is way too many points. This is a contest. These teams hate each other. This is a rivalry. San Francisco wants revenge for the shellacking that got put on them Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, dude. San Francisco keeps this one definitely within the 10. I'm going to lean under the total, too. Good call.
12th man's going to play a big factor in that one.
Sure will. Try to get in Kaepernick's head. 8:30 Sunday night game, Dallas, Philly. This is a huge division rivalry as well. And, I mean, whoever wins this game will have a big, a leg up to win this division. Dallas on the road traveling to Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a 3.5-point favorite. The total's 55.5.
Shootout. That's all I can say. I think it's going to be a lot of points. LaShawn McCoy needs to step his game up. I don't know what's going on with them, if they're not giving him the opportunities, they're not blocking for him or what, but he looks like trash. But I think Philly wins this game, but I wouldn't go. I think it's a field goal.
I completely agree. I think it's a close game. I can see like 35-32 or 38-35. A lot of points in this game. Like the total as well. Philadelphia wins by a field goal. That seems to be right on the number, sir. I dig it. DeMarco Murray, you think he gets 100 yards against this Philadelphia defense?
Yes.
I do too.
Yeah.
He's done it every week. Why stop now? I think he's only had 1 week where he didn't get 100 yards. So let's keep it churning. And also, I have DeMarco in one of my leagues. So let's go, DeMarco.
I'm playing against him, so suck, DeMarco.
Last but not least, oh man, for Monday night, I bet when the Monday night schedule came out and this game was on the marquee, they were like, yeah, we got us one. We got us a shootout.
Yeah.
Now it's the Chicago.
Be like that Sunday night. Sunday night games are always better.
Yes, it really has worked out that way. But the Monday night game this week, Chicago Bears against the New Orleans Saints. Again, at the beginning of the year, everybody, it's Cutler versus Breeze. It's Marshall versus Colston. I mean, just a great matchup. Yeah. But now no Marshall, Drew Brees, something's in his head. I don't know what's going on with him. Jay Cutler can't get out of his own way. Right now, we've got New Orleans on the road minus the 3, total 54.5. Will we see a shootout in Chicago?
I think we're definitely going to see a shootout. Both these defenses are pretty atrocious this year.
Yeah.
And the offenses can put up points. So I do think Mark Ingram has a big day. Matt Forte has a big game every game.
Yep.
Alshon Jeffrey's going to have a big one. Look for that backup wide receiver who you're talking about. Wilson to be good. Kenny Stills going to have a big day. Maybe Marcus Colston get a couple catches and touchdown. So I think a lot of points over the 54.5 for me. I think the Bears actually win the game at home, give their fans some love. And, 5-8. Who would have thought? That's crazy.
I like exactly what you said, and I really like this is not really a sleeper, but if you've got him, start him. Kenny Stills will have a day against the Chicago secondary. I'm calling 2 touchdowns and $160. I think he will blow it out the water. So I'm going Chicago at home plus the 3 to win the game outright and over the total 54.5. Boom, there you go. That wraps up fantasy for the Fantasy 45 semifinal week, John Mark. Before we leave today, I'm going to hit you with 2 greater than or less thans because it's your favorite segment, and it's everybody's favorite segment. We all just can agree on that. Josh Gordon, greater than, this is hurried, you just give me first thought. Josh Gordon, greater than Jeremy Maclin.
No.
Josh Gordon, greater than Odell Beckham.
No.
Josh Gordon, greater than Kenny Stills.
No.
Josh Gordon, greater than Emmanuel Sanders.
No.
Josh Gordon, greater than Golden Tate.
Yes.
Josh Gordon, greater than Sammy Watkins.
No.
So basically what we're saying, Josh Gordon, before Johnny Manziel came in, we had Josh Gordon as a top 10 wide receiver. Now we've pushed him down to maybe top 15-ish, it sounds like.
Here's the only backing behind that, is that I cannot put my faith in Johnny Manziel, who has never played a full game.
I'm with you, man.
I don't think Josh Gordon is worse than those guys. I just don't think he has a quarterback throwing to him.
Gotcha.
All those other guys have quarterbacks throwing to him that actually get them the ball.
Right.
So I can't put my faith in Manziel getting Gordon the ball that it's actually going to work out.
Right.
And plus, people want to kill Manziel. So, I mean, the defenses are trying to tear his head off.
True.
He's going to have a tough time getting it out there. So we'll see.
I like that, man. I'm with you on all of those. Absolutely.
I still think Josh Gordon's awesome, and I have him starting on my team, but I'm going to have to put Kenny Stills in front of him, I think.
With it. One more for your flex play. Martavius Bryant of the Steelers. They're going against the Atlanta Falcons secondary. Martavius Bryant, I don't know if you watched the game. He had the 80-yard bomb. The dude is a 90-some yard. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he is a big play waiting to happen against this Atlanta secondary. Do you like Martavius Bryant greater than Doug Baldwin, Seattle Seahawks?
Yes.
Martavius Bryant greater than Mark Ingram as your flex play. Mark Ingram, New Orleans Saints running back.
No.
Martavius Bryant greater than Michael Floyd.
Yes.
Martavius Bryant greater than DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes.
Martavius Bryant greater than Robert Herron.
No.
Oh, you like Robert Herron better?
I'm sorry.
You said yes because you didn't
yes.
like Robert Herron earlier in the show, remember?
No, yes.
Yeah.
Bryant, yes.
Yeah, very good. And Martavius Bryant greater than Mohamed Sanu.
Yes.
Yeah, dig it. All right, man. I like all that stuff too, buddy. Man, it's going to be a fun week. Are you going to be able to watch the games on Sunday?
Yeah, let's get up, man. I think I need to be. I'm getting tired of being at my house, and I don't have the family the ticket.
The red zone thing.
So I'm watching one game at 1 o'clock and just watching the fantasy wire. I'm like, this is awful. I want to go to like a bar, and sit down and just get it.
Cool. I'm with that.
What do you think?
I would love to. I'm just trying to think what we've got. I swear, I think I've got to do some Christmas. Oh, it's Christmas caroling time at our church on Sunday, so we will probably be doing that. But maybe, what was the Sunday night game? It was pretty good.
That's the Eagles and Cowboys.
Oh, maybe we get together and watch that one because I've got DeMarco Murray in it. You've got Sanchez in that one, right?
Yeah.
So that might be worth watching.
LeSean
McCoy. A lot of dudes. So anyway, it's going to be a fun Final Four semifinal weekend.
Can we get a preview of what this caroling is going to be like?
Dashing through the snow on a one-horse open sleigh. Listen to that voice, boy. That
was pretty solid. We'll have to see how it sounded Magic Hands over there.
Yeah, I'm sure he loved it.
Yeah, give it a thumbs down.
Well, anyway, so you fantasy fanatics, hey, definitely tune in next week to see if John Mark and I qualify for the Super Bowl of our fantasy football leagues. Until then, peace.
Peace. Good luck, people.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.